If dating apps have done anything, it's introduced us to women's impossible standards when it comes to men. Their 463 bullet point checklist. But is it something that we men should be even concerned with? We've all seen those dating profiles that have become part of an ongoing joke. He must be 6 feet tall, six-pack abs, a six-figure salary, and packing at least 6 inches. We all laugh and roll our eyes, especially when we see the women who is demanding these standards for men. I mean, those women clearly don't often align with that level of value. In most cases, those women should be happy with whatever they could get. But I guess we can't blame a girl for trying, right? However, when men demand standards, they're shamed, called misogynistic, and told we should love a woman for who she is because beauty is on the inside, right? Sadly, many, both men and women, actually believe that we should take whatever we're offered and accept it. Essentially, men these days are expected to settle for any woman simply because she's a woman. That idea is absolutely ridiculous, and you absolutely should not settle. But I'm pretty sure I'm preaching to the choir here. I'd say the biggest issues here is the average girl's inflated self-assessment of their own value, often egged on by the sisterhood of, "You go girl, you're beautiful no matter what." But how does that saying go? I mean, men socialize by insulting each other, but they really don't mean it. But women socialize by complimenting each other, but they really don't mean it either. I mean, have you seen some of these women that call themselves a 10? I mean, being confident is one thing, but being completely delusional is quite another. And most women don't have a clue how men rate women. A lot of these women believe having a master's degree, a cool car, and a high-level rank in their career is what makes a man swoon. But that's because that's what women find attractive in a man. And for the ladies watching, men don't give a damn about that stuff. Those things may be a nice perk if you're starting a life together, but those things do absolutely nothing for a man's attraction to a woman. And no, we're not intimidated by that. In fact, we find it kind of masculine and rather unattractive. And by the way, guys, be sure to come over to my website and join the growing community about sharing ideas and advice on women and female attraction. It's completely free. And if you need my personal help and want private one-on-one coaching, you can find that there too by clicking on the coaching tab. Just head on over to soa.fm, SOA for skill of attraction, and FM because it's fucking magic. Made it really easy for you guys to remember. So how does a man deal with these impossible standards? And are they actually impossible? Well, the men these women believe they deserve are a very tiny, minuscule portion of the men out there. And I'm not talking about 10% or even 5% of the men. It's more like a fraction of 1%. So yes, they're impossible standards that only the highest quality, most beautiful women can actually attract. And these men are certainly not on dating apps, unless maybe they're looking for an easy lay or a slump buster or something. Women are going to grow old and gray waiting for these men to show up in their lives, but that's not our concern. Let them learn the hard way. Now, when many men see these standards, they immediately check themselves out of the game, thinking that it's hopeless. But the truth is, it's far from hopeless, because these standards really don't matter. Let me explain. Yes, women really do want a man who meets these standards, and yes, they do believe they deserve a man like that. But they also date, sleep with, and marry men who are nowhere close to those standards. Have you heard a woman, maybe your sister or female friend, talk about her 463 bullet point checklist? Have you heard them list off all the traits a man must have in order for her to even be interested in him? However, I'm sure you have also seen the men that they end up with who is nothing like the list that she rattled off. That's because those standards really don't matter when a girl gets the tingles from a man. As you may have heard me say in the past, it's your vibe that women really fall in love with. It's how you make her feel, at least initially. In other words, good game is what makes a woman swoon and hop into bed with you. Now, I'm sure there are some women out there who actually make sure that a man meets all of her requirements before getting involved, but it's super rare. A cool car, a righteous tattoo, a cocky and charismatic personality, and an I don't give a fuck attitude will get you much further with women than trying to meet all of her requirements and demands. In fact, a large majority of women end up with just an average dude. Now, when I go on dating apps or a woman tells me up front what she's looking for in a man, I don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore. There was a time when I did pay attention to that stuff, and I'm sure I could have dated some of those women without any issue, without realizing it. In fact, okay, truth-telling time, I have a pretty big weakness. Okay, I've kicked a lot of bad habits and addictions over the years, but one I haven't been able to conquer is cigarettes. Yes, I'm a smoker. Yes, I know it's bad. And yes, I know I have to quit. But that's not the point. The reason I'm telling you this is because over the years, I've dated quite a few women who have told me point blank that they would never, ever date a smoker, that it's disgusting and they can't stand even being around it. Well, guess what? Not one of them has had a problem with me smoking. Sure, they've asked me to quit, but not one of them has complained or shown any resistance about dating me because of my smoking. There have even been a few that have commented on how they like the smell of it on me, or have mentioned how they kind of like the taste of my cigarette kisses. Yes, I know it sounds disgusting, but my point is that a woman's standards often go out the window when you give her the feels, and she's highly attracted to you. This is actually a really good thing for us men, because otherwise almost none of us would ever sleep with a woman, let alone reproduce. I mean, most of you watching this know by now that women want the highest value man that they have the ability to attract. But what doesn't compute for a lot of men is when a woman is in love with you, in her eyes, you are the highest value man she can attract, or she wouldn't even be with you in the first place. So from now on, just ignore women's impossible standards and take your shot anyway. Of course, she may not be interested, but it's rare if it's because you don't tick the boxes on a ridiculous checklist. It's because she's just not feeling it for you. And if you want to increase your chances, then I highly recommend that you go through my videos and learn the areas that you need to work on. I also have a recommended reading list on my website that you could check out. There's a bunch of books on there. And you can also simply book some time with me where I could help you get on the right path. The point is, the answer to your problems with women isn't difficult, but it does take some work to get there. Now, if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And if you want to be notified in real time of future videos that I upload, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap on the bell icon right next to it. And if you found this video worthy of a donation, you can find my PayPal link and Bitcoin wallet address in the description section of this video. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.